Got it. Okay. Jake, so good to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited that someone finally agreed to fight me.
It's unbelievable. Let's start with, where it started, and that was with Tommy Fury. I mean, what at the end of the day, do you think his pulling out was a legitimate excuse, or was this a shell game on the Fury family's part?
I think it's a shell game. There's just no way it can't be a coincidence that both of the times that I tried to fight him, he ended up pulling out of the fight. Their family is sketchy. The dad's, an inmate criminal. So, like, who knows what's going on over there? And who knows if he actually even went to the airport to actually try to get his visa to come and fight me in the United States.
Do you think it was ultimately about Tommy Fury's discomfort with training over here without his family by his side?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so, because he signed on a different coach. His dad wasn't even going to be the one training him for this fight. And his dad's not the one that trains him. If you look at all of his fights in the corner, his dad's not even in the corner. Um, who knows what the excuse was, honestly.
Yeah. And do you want to say anything about Tyson Fury? He was doing a lot of talking before this fight, and now, like, where are they?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, even when he made the $1 million bet with me, we reached out to his lawyer to put the money into escrow and then never heard anything back from him. So they're all talk, and I wish Tyson and I were in the same weight class because I would just love to beat his ass.
That may happen down the road, right?
Man, I would have to eat a lot of Twinkies to get as fat as him, man.
Well, look, I mean, the great thing is, and you made reference to it, is August 6th, Showtime pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden, a place you've got to be so just like head over heels to be fighting at, against Hasim Rahman Jr., who, again, I mean, I know a lot of the fans, anyone who's kind of questioned your interest in really taking on a boxer, this is a real boxer, a son of a former heavyweight champion of the world, and a guy who's no slouch, 12-1 with 6 knockouts. Tell me about what you know about him. I know that you guys have sparred in the past. How heated were those sessions, and what's your thoughts as you take on this fight?
Yeah, those sessions were very, very heated, and the last one ended with him calling me a YouTuber, saying I'll never go anywhere in the sport of boxing, criticizing me, saying, like he's gonna beat up my whole entire team. So there's bad blood here, and those sparring sessions were tough. However, those were 2 years ago, and I believe that I've become a better fighter and worked harder than him over the past 2 years. And yeah, this is a massive risk. Look, no boxer has really ever taken this big of a risk this early on in their career. Canelo's sixth fight was a guy against a guy who was 2-2. Gervonta's sixth fight was up against a guy who was 2-8. So they're not really, risking it like I am, and that's what makes this a big fight. And he's a tougher opponent than Tommy Fury, more experience,
Mhm.
heavyweight, more knockout power. So I like a challenge, and people are calling me crazy, but that's what I like. I think I am crazy.
Yes, and certainly there's probably some craziness to it. You have to be crazy to step into the boxing ring on some level. But as you look at this fight, I mean, what are you most troubled by in regards? Like you said, you had these sparring sessions with him. Is it just the fact that he's a legit boxer and does have some skill that comes down from his father?
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm capable of, and that's really where the focus is.
Mhm.
I know where my skill set is at, and I know how good I am, and I know who I'm sparring up against in the gym. So whatever he brings August 6th, it's going to be a lot. He's good. He's legit. He has knockout power, but whatever he brings, it just won't be enough for me.
How do you see the fight playing out? Why will you win, and what will victory mean for you? Moving forward with your career in boxing.
For me, the victory will be the sweetest one yet against the toughest opponent yet, and checking off the box of fight a real boxer. That's what I wanted to do this whole entire time. It just so happens that a lot of these real boxers don't actually want to sign up to fight me. But I see the fight playing out in one way and one way only, and that's me knocking him out in less than 5 rounds.
You know, a lot of the great fighters that I talk to, they lean on visualization and like manifesting their success. Is that something that you're a big believer in?
Yeah, 100%. I'm very, very spiritual. I meditate 2 to 3 times a day. Um,
Really?
I'm a big believer in manifestation. I have sayings and goals written up on my mirror that I speak into existence every single day. I'm super big into like psychedelics and connecting to the higher beings of this world and into the spiritual world. And it all comes back into fighting. I think there's a higher power quite literally guiding my boxing career. I feel it. I feel it in every bone of my body.
Is that just because it's you, or is it because that you have that belief?
I think it's because it's me. I think I was the chosen one. I think this was destined to happen. I think my whole entire life was forged to create this story, and to create an inspirational documentary one day for the next generation of kids to accomplish whatever it is that they're going to set out to accomplish. I believe I was put on this earth to change the shape and to change the course of it. Tupac says, he may not be the one that changes the earth, but he's going to spark the next person who changes the earth. And I believe I'm doing the same thing with this boxing career.
We know you've been so attentive to, doing your best in this sport, from day one. But what has happened over the last few months to where you feel so confident that you can walk in there with a legitimate pro boxer and defeat him in your preparation? What are you seeing?
Since my last fight, it's been 7 months, right? A little bit more than 7 months. And I've been in the gym working nonstop like a killer with the best coaching staff. And this past 7 months, I've made more progress than in the rest of my boxing career combined. So
Wow.
this would be my breakout performance against a real boxer.
Power, speed, fundamentals, all of that.
Power, speed, footwork, cardio,
Okay.
upping the punch count, upping the pace, pressure, defense, all of it.
And like we were saying, you've got to feel some responsibility walking into Madison Square Garden in a main event. There's an obligation to be at your peak, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And put on the performance of a lifetime. And this is where a lot of people are going to be putting me under the microscope, since I am going up against a real boxer, and I have to go out there and put on a superstar performance.